Hey everybody, thanks for checking out Next Level Carpentry. I decided to switch it up a little bit here, obviously, and shoot the intro to this video somewhere other than my shop. And the reason I'm doing that is because the video itself is a little different than normal in that I'm doing a rerun or a replay of a previous video series. It's springtime, and a few years ago when I was still at my old shop, I did a 3-part series showing how to build the Obelisk garden trellis that you saw in the video thumbnail. And I did the video in 3 parts because it was very involved, a lot of that deep in the weeds stuff in the video, but for some reason the videos just never got many views. I think combined they're probably less than 15,000 views for all 3 videos, and I packed a bunch of stuff into those videos showing all the complex setups that I used to simplify everything that was needed, all the cuts that were needed to make that Obelisk trellis. This time of year, people are thinking about outdoors and gardens, and so I thought that it'd be a great time to refeature those videos so that current subscribers and current viewers would get a chance to check all that out. The video was done in my old shop, and I don't remember what techniques and stuff I was using at the time. I don't even remember if I had a lapel mic at the time, so the sound might be kind of marginal compared to what more recent viewers are used to, but I think the content is there, and I'll be interested in seeing your thoughts after checking these out. The little icon link up in the upper right hand corner of your screen will take you to part 1 of the video, and that video, after whatever it is, 3 years or so, is only at 9,000 views last time I looked. And that video starts out by milling the legs in the trellis. Those are the whole thing is made out of clear cedar, and because 2x cedar material can be a little warped and twisted and have some issues, I go through the process of milling the legs by first flattening and straightening them so that they work on this complex structure. Then where the legs join to the finial at the top, that hexagonal finial, is a long scarf cut. I made a special jig for that, which I think has a lot of value and applications not only for this build but for other similar projects. And it's a way to set and cut a very accurate scarf joint repetitively. Also included in that part 1 video is where I drill the legs at the right angle to get them screwed to that finial. And there's a little bit of a process to that. I talk about the fasteners and stuff. And it's the intro to the series, and I hope it whets your appetite for the other parts of the video. Again, the I link up here takes you to the second part in the 3-part series for the Obelisk trellis build. Maybe it's an Obelisk trellis build, maybe it's a triangle trellis, I don't know. But whatever it is, in this part 2 segment, I make the hexagonal finial blank. You can see it at the top, and because this has a 3-legged footprint, the finial in the top is 6-sided, hexagonal, not an octagon. So the procedure for making that is a little bit different because they're not just 45-degree angles. There's some extra stuff that has to happen there. And I basically make that finial. The finished trellis got painted gray to go with colors in the house and the garden, but that's made out of clear cedar deck boards, 2x6s, and got them put together. After gluing up, cutting and shaping the hexagonal blank, I take it to my friend Daryl's shop. He calls his shop Sawdust Heaven, and put it on his lathe, and with his guidance and assistance I got the finial ball and the bullet shaped tip turned. I don't know much about using a lathe, probably just enough to be dangerous, so I'm not talking about proper lathe work, but I do get it done, and you get a chance to see me standing at a lathe for what that's worth, even though I'm just sanding it. That was a fun part of the build. It's not that big of a segment, but I put a lot of information in there that kind of makes it a standalone video, so you can see how the finial was made that got screwed together in the first part of the series. And I'll take a minute here on this gorgeous spring evening. There's mourning doves singing out there in the distance and robins chirping around, but I'll take a second to ask viewers that if you like the kind of content you see in these 3 videos here, that you consider subscribing to Next Level Carpentry if you haven't already. The videos are typical, this presentation isn't, but if you're a subscriber, you'll be notified each time a new video with what I feel is useful content in it. You'll be notified when that gets uploaded to YouTube, and you can check it out. I probably shouldn't ask for a thumbs up bump in this video because it's so out of the ordinary. I might get a lot of thumbs downs, but hey, if you're watching and thinking about it and happen to like it enough, poke the thumbs up button and we'll see where that takes the video. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, an infomercial segment like this is kind of necessary in the YouTube platform these days, and so I'll say that the tools and supplies you see me using in the video for building the Obelisk trellis are available through an influencers link from Next Level Carpentry in the video description. Amazon pays small ad fees for sales made through those links, even though the products themselves are at the same low online price that you're used to. So check them out. This t-shirt, along with other designs and stuff from the Next Level Carpentry shop, are available through TeeSpring, link in the video description. And there's a few other goodies in there too, like an exclusive offer code for Starbond CA glue. It's there if you need it. And before the sun goes all the way down and the coyotes come out, I will carry on and say that part 3 of the Obelisk trellis build is where I make the complex compound angles for the X's you see on the trellis. Those X-shaped frames are kind of tricky. The angles are different coming and going, and then there's a half lap joint where they connect that keeps the design and the configuration of the trellis looking the way I wanted it to. After cutting all the complex pieces parts, I finally get to assemble this Obelisk trellis. And as you can tell, whether you're watching the videos or not, there's a lot of geometry going on with the triangular footprint of this Obelisk trellis. But by paying attention to the accuracy of the jigs and the fabrication process, everything comes together wonderfully. Because I've used screws for the assembly instead of staples or nails, I don't need glue, and so I could partially disassemble it when I took it to the painter to get a better looking and more thorough paint job that'll preserve the trellis and extend its life considerably. And naturally, after painting, I can just screw everything all back together to complete the assembly. I also tossed in an Easter egg in the video description down there, and that has a link to a SketchUp model that I used for designing and building this trellis. And if you're a SketchUp user, you can go and download the link and download that model. It's basically a working plan, but it's free of charge if you know how to use SketchUp and can download and access that model file. It's a .skp file, and it's free for anybody there that cares to download it. I'm releasing this video this weekend because I'm working on the live edge joinery video, actually doing that work to get that video put together, and I'll upload that probably next weekend, unless I get it done sooner. But I wanted to have something for you guys to check out in the meantime, and thought this was about the best opportunity I'm going to have to do that. I don't leave any videos without a special shout out to all the patrons for Next Level Carpentry, those who've gone above and beyond by becoming a patron for the channel on Patreon. Everybody on this list has done that. They're part of what I call the above and beyond group, and I appreciate your support, especially in these days with all the uncertainty in the economy and in the world. So thanks to everybody here. And anybody that's interested or motivated to join that list can do so through the link for Patreon in the video description to sign up for that. And all the patrons have access to a small but growing library of patron-only video that I put together. You guys go above and beyond for me. I try to go above and beyond for patrons and throw in a little extra content outside the normal scope of Next Level Carpentry with snippets from the shop. And I recently did an extended project completion walkthrough tour of a job I've been working on for the last 6 months. It shows the after visuals of the finished project with some staging done by the interior decorator and a little insight into where that project ended up. And as a patron, you have access to that video along with all the other stuff that's in there, which is a token of my gratitude for the support you provide for this channel. Well, I'm quickly running out of sunlight with the sun setting over there on the horizon, so I'll wrap up the video. Thank everybody for checking it out. I'll be interested to see your comments and feedback in those 3 videos, and I'll put links to the videos in the video description, as well as the ones that you saw up here in the corner, for easy access to them. And I hope you like the content there. So for me and the mourning doves out here and the rest of the birds, until next time, thanks for watching. And I'll tell you what, Pilgrim, I'm just going to get on my horse and ride on out of here into the sunset. Come on, buddy, let's go.